Welcome to Fantasy Breakouts with Pat and Eric. Obviously, there's a different face here. We have a special guest appearance, Mr. Traint-J.
Thank you. You're far too kind.
He's going to provide us some insight and whatnot. Today, we will be speaking on the NFC West. Cardinals got a lot of movement going on. And then the next thing is the trade rumors. And then lastly, obviously, we're here for Fantasy Impact. So let's get right into it.
Let's do it.
So, Josh, I know we're from Arizona, currently in this hot place. What'd you think about the new guy?
J.J. Watt edition. Man, big move. The Arizonians out here love it. Granted, we're Illinois boys, come from Illinois, but we reside in Arizona now. A lot of people out here are bragging and saying that they're going to be the next Super Bowl winning team. But I don't know. I kind of think it's definitely a great addition, but I don't think it fully puts them as a championship contender team. Playoff, maybe, but as far as winning the whole thing, hold your horses. They still have, of course, Chandler Jones on the other side of them. Those two are, since 2012, the top leading sack getters from 2012 to currently. So, you got to give them some consideration on that. But you still got to bring back Patrick Peterson, who's an upcoming free agent. You got to bring back the Reddick guy. That's number 43, right? Reddick. Got to bring him back.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So it's going to be a lot of different factors that vary into them even making the playoffs, let alone being a Super Bowl winning team. So I like the move because it puts them in the race, but they need a lot more pieces. Definitely a receiver. If you want Kyler Murray to shine, you definitely got to get some offensive line pieces out the draft somewhere.
I think Kyler's made a drastic jump PFF grade-wise. I think he went from like a 79 to 84. Don't quote me. But he definitely made a leap, but it did tail off. I think he got injured, week 9?
Yeah,
roughly.
Halfway through the season.
Yeah, something like that. And it really caused a little disruption in the offense, so to speak.
Yeah.
I think it's very important that as far as bringing back Patrick Patterson, I don't know, sound like some bad blood in there.
Yeah, I think he's a goner.
Yeah, they talk about this and that. And I don't know. What do you think about the Cards, Eric?
Yeah, I'm pretty much with you guys on that. They started out pretty hot. They lost to Detroit and Carolina at the beginning of the year. It's like what the hell? We didn't know what they were. I think at that point when they were 5-2. Yeah, and they actually with those guys, those defensive ends are so important. But they had the fourth most sacks. They had 8 sacks versus Philly. I remember that was a big stardom week, and then I think the next week they had 6. I think that they do need to get some pieces. If they're I think they're in that kind of like the Vikings mode last year, where they're like, we lost Diggs, we need corners, we need receivers and corners. Yeah. Hit on them. So I think if they don't draft a receiver up high, then they're going to be getting a free agent receiver. And same thing with the cornerbacks. I think they're just going to keep hitting those spots. And then, like Josh said, they need to get a lineman in there too, which they weren't. I mean, because of Kyler, I'm sure he wasn't sacked a ton. But he did take his hits last year. So
there were reports going around. I listened to a little bit of Arizona sports talk radio in the morning.
I'm sure.
And it was little talks of Juju Smith-Schuster being a free agent look for the Arizona Cardinals. So Juju coming off a season not too highly hyped as people thought it would be. Especially fantasy wise, he was definitely a disappointment for a lot of different people. So if they can pick him up, it'll be better for them, of course, spreading the ball around, because Kyler kind of, fed Hop a little bit too much, and teams kind of figured that out towards the end of the season. But if they could bring in another good receiver to accompany, I like that word, to accompany D-Hop, you feel me? Cardinals can make some noise in the division, for sure.
Yeah. Let's see what, first of all, Fitz does and Patrick Peterson. What happens, that's going to change a lot of stuff, because obviously Fitz, he's going to have the open door if he wants to come back, no matter what. But Juju would replace Fitz and be obviously not Fitz from, back in the day, going against the Steelers in the Super Bowl, but obviously be definitely, that safety valve. And maybe that would help Kyler tremendously. Something else, Eric?
So are you saying that Larry Fitzgerald's still viable? Do you think he is?
No.
I don't think he is, man.
No. I'm talking about money. No. I'm not talking. He's not the go-to. I'm saying money.
38 years old.
I'm not talking about. You misheard this. It's money-wise. If they bring him back, it's going to be hard to get Juju. Is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Look-wise.
Okay. Let me throw this out there as well. Also reports of one of this guy's favorite, OBJ. He's rehabbing from the ACL injury. He's out here in Arizona rehabbing. Could that be a trade destination, for the Cardinals to be on the other side of D-Hop? We have to see.
We'll talk about trades. Yeah, that could be a good fit. I mean, he's getting paid a decent amount, but the Cardinals do have a good amount of space because they have all these expensive positions to pay, I guess. They got Kenyon Drake might be gone too.
Yeah. Chase Edmonds. The man said he sees him as all eight.
Fat's been talking about this guy for 3 years now.
Give him a chance.
Fantasy hopeful.
So, yeah. Let's move on. What about another hot team? Seattle. How do y'all feel about Pete Carroll? They're basically choosing Pete Carroll over Russ at the moment, right? We're getting chatted because Russ is, 32, but he's Russ, period. And obviously Pete got rid of the Marty Schottenheimer because he doesn't want Russ to cook, quote unquote. He wants to be run heavy, or is that mentality in the Super Bowl with Marshawn Lynch?
Old school.
But so how do y'all feel about Seattle really? And he said he preferred the Bears. If the Bears get him, that's the best quarterback we've had in years.
Gotta give him some weapons. But
Pat, I want to tell a story. So they said that Russell Wilson was mad about how the GM went to go see Josh Allen work out a couple of years ago, and that was when Russ was like 29 or 20, 3 years, 2017. But yeah, they went to go see him, and he was like, "I need some weapons. I need some offensive linemen." And you guys are sending the actual GM of the Seahawks going to see big Josh Allen throw around, run around, be himself. But he didn't like that, and then I don't think they didn't like when he gave his list of teams that I don't want to trade, but if I were to be traded, they didn't like that. So they're kind of butting heads. And then you guys or Pat's Bears are involved a little bit, and they have some pieces on defense they could get rid of right before their contracts are expired, like Kyle Fuller, Hicks, Mack, Robert Quinn.
They can make work. They can make.
What do you think about that, Pat?
I think it'd be for Seattle. I mean, honestly, they were talking about actually, trade Tyler Lockett too. Like if one of those pieces goes, they're going to be, in quote unquote rebuild mode. Mm-hmm. Fantasy wise, pick up DK all day because he's gonna eat. He's gonna at least get the targets. Now, depending on what quarterback is, I mean, there's a lot of floating quarterback. What if they, if Russ got traded for Trubisky, and they took a little flyer on him, who knows? I'm tired of seeing them personally, but whatever. Now, as far as the other teams, I mean, the Rams are in a bad position as far as cap right now. They're gonna have to make some changes, especially with everything coming as far as the, league salary cap being dropped and whatnot, but. I think, with Matt Stafford, they had a way better position if you ask me. That's gonna be definitely a team to watch for sure. What do you guys think about the Stafford? We talked about the story. What do you think about the Stafford trade?
Stafford, good pickup for the Rams. It's definitely a step up from where they were at with Jared Goff. Even for the Detroit Lions, that was a rebuilding boot that he been to the Super Bowl before, so he got a little bit of resume behind him. But Matt Stafford, I feel like he can lead them to the playoffs. It's really on him, to be honest. It's really going to show where he's at. Fantasy wise, he got the receivers to make his value go high, his points be high. So can he basically fill the void? Step in, replace. You still got Cooper Kupp, still got Robert Woods. Who's the running back? Do they got a reliable running back? Oh, they got Cam Akers. So they're good. They're well off. Great defense, with Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald leading the defense. So basically all you got to do is, replace. And if he can do that, I'll probably add another good piece to him. But it's on Stafford now.
I mean, Stafford got the arm, though. He's made something out of nothing for years. Think about that. And they were actually talking about Marvin Jones. He's a free agent as well. What's the other team in NFC East though, Eric? The Niners?
San Francisco. Yeah.
Big,
So what do you guys?
team.
We could talk about all of them. Who do you guys think will win the division? I guess a lot of it could be dictated this offseason, but what do you think?
Ask me in a month.
You Valley boys. You Valley boys.
Ask me in a month, man, because you're gonna have a lot of moving parts.
I still give Seattle the advantage over the lead over the conference, just because
Even if they don't have Russ.
With Russ right now, saying Russ comes back, because I don't think they're gonna really let him go. They paying him too much money right now. Teams don't act like they don't want to take a chance on getting him. You gotta give the whole house to get him.
Bear said he's on top of the list.
He is, but
priority.
As of right now, if Seattle keeps Russ, I'll give it to Seattle. But it's a toss-up, man. Garoppolo got to come with it. Yeah, Seattle over. Just because Matthew Stafford got to step in and replace. I don't feel like if he can get a good offseason of workouts and with the team, then he going to make some noise. But if he can't really, be with the team, everything's virtual, it's going to be a tough season for him, I feel like.
Kind of like a Tom Brady. Tom Brady kind of really got cooking after week 7 or something like that. It was when Tom Brady finally got going. I know, but a new team. I'm saying new team guys, like guys that went to a new team that took a little bit. But okay, okay.
I pick Seattle winning the division if Russ stays.
I like it.
Sorry, Arizona fans, people.
I think that's like pretty common. Like you go to a new area and then you kind of hate the fans just a little bit. Just a little bit, the local people. It's like you guys are a little too intense, man. But But do you guys want to move on to any other trades?
I want to say Rams 11-5.
Rams 11-5 winning the division. It's gonna be kind of like a not a runaway with it though, but
no. This is one of the best divisions, bro. They always are neck and neck, and there's always, and it's crazy because one game in that division makes the biggest difference.
Right.
Some random tie, you can slide from 1 to 4. We've seen it a billion times. So Rams, Matthew Stafford, it's his time. Yeah. People sleep on Matthew Stafford. He's on a terrible team.
He's like a polarizing, like either love him or hate him for sure.
But at this time, you got to think he's been throwing for 5,000 yards a year. Okay, and it's like, okay, that's bad and he's only doing that because of his defense. Okay, true, I get that. But at the same time, he can manage. He's not like he's throwing 60 interceptions.
He also had his time to step up in certain seasons, and he failed to do that. There was a time where Detroit was pretty good.
When? You tell me you're in a Detroit on defense.
I think it was about 3 years ago.
Yeah, Detroit was good. One of those, 10 seasons he was with them.
Oh,
so come on, man. He got to show, he got to prove himself this year. That's all it is.
I think with his maturity,
yeah,
and that defense, they'll be fine. And Russ, Seattle doesn't know who they are. They might not even have Buddy back.
Yeah.
Running back. They got
Carson.
Chris Carson. He might not be back. They're cheap. We already know how they don't care. There's a lot of There's a lot of moving things. In a month, right now I'm going Rams. Got to. Defense is solidified. Stafford way better than Goff. Goff is just miserable. All right. What's the next thing, Eric? I'm sorry, your fault.
Oh yeah, you love. The number of time, the amount of time that you've talked about Matthew Stafford over the last. It's getting crazy, but hey, it's something new. It's something new. I won't. Yeah, I'm not gonna get on you too much. But yeah, I think the 49ers. We're all picking different teams. I think the 49ers, man. They had so many injuries. I think they might. I think they're going to get a good pickup on the draft, and I don't know. I think they can get another receiver in. I don't. I like him.
They're trading him.
Yeah, it sounds like they're really going to keep him. Sounds like they're definitely keeping him. So
yeah, if they keep him, how many games are going to play next year?
Chris Carson's definitely gone. It sounds like too.
That's what I'm saying.
Like you were saying.
I think Jimmy Garoppolo's going to play 6 games. They're going to get into it. They're not bringing their defense is going to look different. They don't have the same coach. Dude left. Richard Sherman's probably not going to come back. Cricket.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you got.
They got some holes. I think every team's got some holes in that division though. But I think it's going to be them and the Seahawks. But okay, so trade rumors. So Trent Brown, he's like the highest paid tackle. This isn't a fantasy, player that we use a lot, but with the Raiders, they don't have a ton of cap room, so I think they're going to trade him. He's expensive, and I think a team that could be getting him are the Panthers. They have 4 linemen that are starters that are all free agents. And you think about McCaffrey, how many people did he meet behind the line of scrimmage when he was going off? Like basically he's getting 2 yards, then he's taking off, right? He's not in the backfield fighting people off ever. Can you like, in my opinion, I never see this man like with a wall of people in front of him. He always has a groove and he's gone, right? So I think that the Panthers are a team that they could be trading for a tackle to help them out, and I think that's got a lot of implications with who they might get. And I'm going to be watching that very, very closely with McCaffrey as a could be McCaffrey owner. And but anyway, the lineman, I will get him. I will get him.
Before you move off the Panthers, Eric. Before you move off the Panthers, are the Panthers moving on from number 5?
Teddy?
Is it a done deal, Teddy?
It sounds like
what's the deal with that? You know,
so I think
Teddy.
Yeah, I think they're gonna get Trey Lance or Fields because they're picking so early. What are they picking 8? I think they're gonna grab one of those guys and just maybe start the season with Teddy. I mean, Teddy's a nice, get you your 4 weeks or get you your month, and I think he's done after that. I love the dude, but he doesn't really have the upside. I think to carry an offense at this point.
Any trade value?
What do you think? Trade him maybe?
I don't know what type of trade value.
Maybe the Saints.
They probably would love to have him right now, to be honest.
Right?
They're going between Taysom and
what is up there
Jameis.
with it? They love Taysom so much.
They're restructuring a lot of people. They're getting actually the contracts done, so they get to keep a lot of their pieces. Have you seen that? I think that's like 3 or 4 guys that they've restructured now, including the defensive tackle.
We talked about Kamara a couple weeks back about that. They're gonna do something. They got to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have the list here. They were $48 million over cap just a couple days ago. $48 million. That's the worst.
Right now.
Okay,
so
after today.
They go headway.
Yeah, they got to do some work.
So I mean, it's hard to say like they're going to be trading for big name players, but if they keep on that route, they'll be all right. They can get enough of these guys re-signed.
Drew Brees for the next 2 years?
Yeah, draft $5 million. The draft gonna be their best friend.
You said.
Yep.
Paying Drew Brees 2 more years, $25 million.
Well, at least he's retired, so that's kind of like dead money that they kind of have to pay him over time, instead of paying him all at once.
Yeah, I think they kept delaying that because they thought they were going to be winning the Super Bowl, and it just never happened.
I just want to see the draft. That's it.
Yeah.
The draft's going to determine a lot of pieces. And last time we talked before things happened, Eric, this guy tried to come out of nowhere and say we didn't know what we were talking about.
I'm interested to see where OBJ gonna go. Like I was saying earlier, he's been on 3 teams in the past 8 seasons. So yeah, that's
3
true.
teams.
Yeah, it's gonna be his 3rd team once he gets traded.
I was saying,
this is gonna be his 3rd. If he gets traded, this will be his 3rd team.
Yeah, I'll say he will be something. He's been on 2 teams.
He's been on 2 teams. But listen, he has his back aura around him where he's not a team-friendly person. He doesn't galvanize the team. He's a crybaby. So
every receiver's a crybaby.
Hey, receivers, we get the notion of that.
Every receiver,
we're divas, but we're not.
Listen,
we want the ball.
Listen,
we don't want to go all game blocking and running around. We need the ball in our hands.
But I get that. But you're making it seem like he injured Baker when Baker injured him.
True, I agree. But I was interested to see where he's gonna go, man. He could be used in a lot of different places, viable in a lot of different places. So OBJ, I'm interested to see.
Yeah, I like what you said with him and the Cardinals, man. That would just make their offense so more unpredictable and help that because they went stale at the end of the year for sure.
OBJ,
Pat, Pat, the order of things. I said it a couple weeks ago. It was like St. Patrick's Day is when the free agents get signed or can be signed, the restricted ones, and then the draft. So you're saying you feel like after the free agents are gone, after the draft, then there's gonna be trades, or do you think during the free agent process on St. Patrick's Day it's gonna be kicking off?
Let's talk about this March 10th, or not March 10th, April
3 days.
10th. Yeah, 3 days. April 10th. Let's talk about April 10th.
In a month? All right.
Yeah, I think
before
that's
the draft.
Yeah, because you got to think whoever they sign, that's going to determine a lot of stuff. When the people fall, that's
definitely some major quarterback shifts by then.
Oh, somebody gonna get dealt. There's gonna be somebody getting dealt. And you got to think about with the draft, who they gonna take. There's a lot of moving pieces. So I say after that, then we can almost assume what the draft looks like. And from there, see what the new pieces look like, and we'll just be able to determine how the Rams are going to win the division. That's it.
Okay, before we move off the trade rumors, what about Deshaun Watson? Thoughts on Deshaun Watson? Is he leaving? Is he staying? What's the situation here? Definitely a high fantasy player.
Well, the Texans have just cut every piece that they've had just to be nice. So I don't think
good pieces too.
Him. Yeah. So we'll see what they do, but I think if anything, I think they're gonna trade him, but it's gonna be like almost too late. I can just feel that coming. It's like we could. They definitely could have got more, but the dude was being he's being stubborn. I think they're gonna trade him like during the draft or maybe just after the draft, and it's gonna be like, okay, they blew it. That's what I think is gonna happen. What about you guys?
I agree.
I say during the draft.
Yeah.
What's Miami's pick?
Is it 3? I think it's 3.
Yeah. I actually think they're gonna hold on to him all
after
the way
the Jets.
Till training camp. If he comes in training camp, disgruntled or doesn't report at all, then that's when I feel like they'll try to make a move and trade him.
Less money doing
just
it.
because,
or less, they're like, bro, your back.
I feel like they feel like he's trying to embarrass their franchise a little bit, so they kind of prove a point.
But they embarrass themselves.
You know how owners get, man.
That's the point. Like they did that. They did everything. They did everything for themselves. They brought all this upon themselves.
True.
Everybody, even Andre Johnson, who was on like the board, came out and said like none of that's good.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, that's true.
So they did it. I mean, that's self-inflicted.
He's out of there though. Well, I'd love to see him with a team like San Francisco. A warm weather place, man, where he could play with weapons. Or even Washington. Washington would be a good landing place. They got a lot of money tied up, but
they have no, they don't. They have $54 million available. They're under the cap, $54 million.
They're not, but they got a lot of it's not going to happen.
They got the best defensive line in the damn league too.
And got some offensive pieces.
But you got to think about
I like it, Josh. I like it.
They got
a nice running back.
I see Teddy going there before them.
No, they ain't nobody messing with Teddy. If Carolina moving on, ain't nobody gonna really take Teddy.
Teddy's not that. He's a manager.
Bro.
He's an upgrade from Alex Smith because he's a little more agile, I guess.
I would rather keep Kyle Allen than have Teddy. I mean, what you expect from both of them.
Another guy that could move is I know it is Sam Darnold because they're definitely going to take. I think the Jets are definitely going to take Fields or Zach Wilson.
That's what I'm saying.
Would you rather have him or Teddy? If you were to, I mean, as a trade asset, I guess, because I mean, Sam Darnold's like 23 and Teddy's like probably 28, 29 maybe.
Darnold
27. You rather have Darnold?
Ryan Tannehill helped a lot of those.
Les Miles.
Les Miles. He got crazy out being his coach. He doesn't know what he's doing. He had a lot of BS that he had no control over. Darnold still has room for solidness. Let's put it like that.
Improvement.
Pause.
Just say improvement. Yeah, Darnold definitely still young, man. He's only 23 years old. Like teams, I feel like, especially NFL and NBA specifically, expect these guys to be
off the jump.
Yeah, right away. Supposed to expect them to be awesome right away when you need time to grow. Darnold, he came into a wacky situation from the get-go, so it wasn't no win in that situation. So I feel like if he go to a team with a stable coach, with a good defense, he could be a manageable quarterback.
Got a question: Sam Darnold or Drew Lock?
Drew Lock for Denver?
No, pick one. Yeah. Who else? Drew Lock? What? Robert Lock.
So if you're if you're Washington, they're probably thinking about that.
Fantasy or winning the ball game?
If you had an opportunity right now, they're both probably the same money-wise.
I'd take Sam Darnold.
You think Sam Darnold still?
Especially if I got a good O-line. Sam can throw the ball. He can really throw the football. He just needs a stable
organization.
Yeah.
He needs to walk outside and know what tip or say who's there.
Yeah, I'd take Sam. What about you?
I say fantasy Drew Lock. That man takes chances. So, but real life, Sam Darnold.
That's why I asked that, because that last 4 or 5 games of the season, Drew Lock came along. He did.
But he always does it when he don't need. Like it's just like it's unpredictable. Okay, he does it against the terrible defense. But then the one day he had a great matchup.
Didn't do nothing. That's fancy football for you.
But even in real life, it's one thing to win the game and not be fancy productive. That's okay. You did what you had to.
True.
It is what it is.
True.
But it's another thing not do what you're supposed to, lose,
Don't perform, right?
get pulled in third quarter.
Oh,
what I'm saying? So it's
lose.
Yeah, man, it's all bad.
Get your game up, Drew.
Buddy. Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of moving parts, though. I personally would like Deshaun to end up in Miami. I think that'd be a perfect scenario because he's going to be able to do what he wants still. Not to say he's not – he's coachable. We obviously seen that. But that offense is a lot more friendly like Ryan Fitzpatrick doing.
True. Look
how much different it looks with Fitzpatrick than Tua. And Tua – if I'm Brian Flores, I'm getting rid of him immediately. I'm tired of you already. I can see what this is going to be.
I don't know about that yet.
Teddy Bridgewater. Yeah. I say Teddy Bridgewater.
Young, though.
I agree with you, Pat, with Watson, because we talked about Watson and 49ers, and I think that's too scripted, I think, for Deshaun Watson, because that he plays backyard football some plays. I think 49ers wouldn't be a good fit, but I like him better in Miami than with the 49ers. Watson, anyway. We talked about that before.
Watson or Russ?
Oh, bad. Go ahead.
Watson or Russ?
Watson.
Why is that? Why was it so hard?
So what would you trade your future for?
One has a Super Bowl and the other one is still trying to get one.
The one it's not his fault. And the one should have 3 Super Bowls. But
my point exactly.
But that's not it.
The team held him back.
It's all about the situation. Yeah. But
if Russ holding him back, matter of fact, I'll take that back. I'll pick Russ because Russ doesn't throw interceptions. If he really,
whoa.
And then most of his receivers are his height and shorter. Like DK has really been the first guy who's been a good option for him as far as a go-to every possession. Like, you had Baldwin and you got Lockett, who are great receivers, but they can only do so much.
Alpha.
Like, yeah, if you can get him if they had Josh Gordon from out the draft, and DK Metcalf, Russell Wilson would be the best quarterback ever.
I'm glad you said that. Because you know what I'm going to say to you?
What?
You tell me one receiver Deshaun Watson had this season.
Bro, Deshaun Watson had DeAndre Hopkins.
This season. I didn't say that.
Will Fuller,
Crackheads. I say crackhead, but like number one, legit. He did that with scratch.
He's a strong number 2, and you got Cooks, who's a strong number 2. Combined, they make a number 1.
Combined, they got to both be on the field to be combined.
That's true. They both injury prone.
Like that offense was never full throughout.
Were they a fantasy? Eaters for you?
He was a fantasy eater.
Fuller was a breakout. Cooks was so.
They were, but I'm saying like Deshaun made something out of nothing. That's what I'm getting.
That's true.
Consistently, he had like the best. Like he's just Deshaun.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm taking Deshaun. He's younger. Russ had a great career. It is what it is. But you think about how he plays. How many more years do you think he got of being Russ?
A lot. Russ Wilson is young. He gets sacked a lot, but it ain't like he's a running back. He's got a good 10 more years left in him. If he wants to. He can play 10 more years.
Well, if he got 10, Deshaun got 15.
The way his ACL set up, I don't know.
What you mean? Hey,
yeah, he's got 2 of them. He's got 2 ACL tears.
When's the last time he had to deal with ACL? He's been cool for years.
He's good though, man.
I just think I'm going Deshaun out of it. Russ is 5'2".
He's
also 5'2". That's what it really comes down to. He's also 5'2". So he like.
Yeah, we didn't give Josh a formal intro, did we? Yeah, Josh. I have to give it to Josh, best football player that's ever been on a fantasy football our channel.
Easy.
Yes, hell of an athlete.
The real pros on.
Hell of an athlete. Just he could never ride a ride until he was in 11th grade.
Yeah.
No, but we appreciate you coming on, man. We'll wrap this up for this trade segment, this Cardinals segment, this debate out of nowhere, this heated debate out of nowhere. But please subscribe. We'll have Josh back. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, I'm at Traint-J. We'll put a link in the description. Some really nice clothing. Show the jacket. Show the jacket too.
Traint, go ahead and shop Traint, www.traintthebrand.com. So, go ahead and visit the site, order, and do all that good stuff. Thank you.
All right. We'll see you next time. Please subscribe. Thanks, Pat.
It was